Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic, and welcome to this weird, deep woo-woo episode entitled Spotlight Australia with TEYMARA and Janine. We're stitching something together for it to work for you guys tonight, so we don't have our usual fancy slide deck for you, but we do have TEYMARA on the screen. TEYMARA, can you hear me okay?
Absolutely, Carl.
Yes. Okay, so as you can see, folks, we have TEYMARA on Zoom, tunneled into StreamYard, tunneled into YouTube, and right now we have no lag time, and it looks like we're going to make this work. So knock on wood, everyone. Please bear with us here, but I think we're going to make this happen. Janine, welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody. Hi, TEYMARA.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Good. You look gorgeous tonight. I just wanted you to know.
Oh, thank you, Ducks. It's like I didn't get to see you. So ditto back. It's like ditto back.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. It's like the shit's hit the fan down here in Victoria. Okay? So do you want me to get straight into it?
Yeah, it's so cool to be able to have a conversation with you and not have a delay and a lag time. So let me first introduce or just say hello to the audience again here. As you can tell, we don't have the usual functionality to our chat, but we have a very, very good connection in terms of audio and video with TEYMARA. So we're really excited. So I think what we're going to do first, TEYMARA, is ask you to maybe give us an update as to what's happening in the land down under. And then we'll start the conversation. We might take some questions from the audience and have Janine pull some cards as well. So take the time you need here to set the stage for what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Okay, well, very, very interesting because we had a bill that actually went to state government, and I know that Janine's had a look at this, which has been fabulous to support us all down here. But the bill with many amendments will actually go to the lower house today. So all of the amendments were done last night, and I think it was past early hours of the morning, something like 12:17 a.m. Now, so it will go to the lower house today as to what they agree or disagree on. So there was a number of amendments. Then it will go to the upper house tomorrow for the final vote. So that's what is going on here in Victoria. So New South Wales announced that as of the 15th of December, and Janine, I thought this one was a classic, hun. As of the 15th of December,
Oh, she cut out.
So everybody down here in Victoria, plus also up in Queensland, and I don't know about the other states because I don't have contact with people from there, but they're wondering, it's like, what is going to happen? Is Victoria and the rest of the states going to follow suit with the 15th of December changes in New South Wales?
Okay, so TEYMARA cut out. There was a big spot that I didn't hear.
Okay, we're just running through some of the issues here, TEYMARA. We missed a little bit of your conversation. So can you rephrase that question for Janine, TEYMARA?
Okay. One is in regard, did you get it all in regard to the amendment for the kill the bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's just look at that one. So that goes back down. That goes to the upper house tomorrow for the final vote.
Okay, it looks like it gets held up. Is there a way they could hold it up?
Absolutely, yeah, because it's everybody in state parliament that actually in the upper house that has to vote it through. So today it's gone to the lower house, and in the lower house they have to agree to all of these amendments. If they agree to the amendments, it then goes to the upper house, and then the upper house then clears it.
Okay, it looks like the lower house does agree because we've got the 9 of Cups. So everyone stay focused on the good outcome, because the 9 of Cups tells us if everyone stays focused, you can get that to, this is a wish card. So the
Okay.
there's
Okay.
a
So everybody here in Victoria wants this bill thrown out.
Oh, I see. Okay, because this card says it'll go the way your wish is. So if everybody wishes, like puts an intention out there, they'll get their wish.
Fabulous, because what GoDaddy actually shut down the Kill the Bill website yesterday,
Yep.
and it's just been reinstated today. So we find that that's very, very interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's a trickery, though. So what I get around the whole bill in general is it's a trick. So there's no basis in truth or validity to it. So if it does go through, it feels like it's part of the movie, because this is it's a trickster bill. It's not real. There's something not real about it. And in the long run, you guys are not going to have to deal with the things you don't want to deal with, because this card says you're going to need strength and perseverance. This is a big trick that they're playing on you.
Wow.
Okay. So now are you getting that this is a trick through the white hats to wake up the rest of Victoria?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. This won't hold. Even if it went through, it wouldn't hold.
Yeah. Okay, great. Now, are we okay at your end, you guys?
Yep.
Okay, fabulous. Now, the Premier of New South Wales put through an announcement in the media that as of the 15th of December, everything in New South Wales basically goes back to normal, except to do with like big outside music concerts. So when we saw this on the news, we were so excited because we thought that it applied to like every state in Victoria, but it doesn't. It's only New South Wales. So people are wondering, like in every state of Australia, are the other premiers going to follow suit?
Eventually they will. So it starts a whole dominoes effect. And this says you're getting a lot of help shifting everything in Australia. You're getting a lot of help from the off-worlders.
Yeah. Yeah, we thought that one.
Yep.
Okay, so we're ready for the next one?
Yeah,
Yep.
go ahead.
Okay. A couple of days ago, an MP in Canberra, when they were sitting for Parliament, his name is Julian Hill, announced from the steps of Parliament House that Scott Morrison, the Prime Minister, was looking at shutting down Parliament for 7 months.
Why? Was there a reason given?
Why? Yeah, why? It's like, that's what we're all asking, like, why? Why would he be shutting down Parliament where all of the premiers have to go and meet? Why would he be shutting it down for 7 months? And if people out there from Australia are wanting to see this particular video of Julian Hill, please don't message me like everybody has been. Just go onto TikTok at Julian, JulianHillLMP, and I hope it's still up.
It looks like they're just trying to, he's just saying that to buy time. So it's not really going to happen, and he's just buying time. And I get everything he's saying and doing is not going to hold. So I feel like the whole government's about to collapse looking at these cards.
This is great. This is great. God, I love you, woman.
Yeah.
Love you. Love you. Love your talent. Love your gift.
Yeah.
Thank God every day for you, Janine. Now.
Hey, Tamara, before you go too fast, Tamara, hold on for a second. Is there a way to bring your camera down a little bit more so you see your face a little bit higher on the screen? Is it a movable? Yes, that's perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, a few people were asking. Okay, that's great. Okay, keep going. And sorry, folks, for the sound. And sorry for the sound issue, guys. We're doing the best we can. At least we don't have a lag time now, so I know the volumes are a little bit off, but we're running through different applications to make this work for you guys tonight. So it's the best we're going to do for tonight. So thank you for bearing with us. Okay, Tamara, back to you.
Okay, now on the 25th of November, the Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews was served papers of treason for him to appear in court on the 17th of December. So Victorians are wondering how that one's going to go down.
The real guy that they serve papers to is already under lock and key secretly. So this is all a facade that they're serving papers to a shadow and not a real government.
Yeah.
This was exactly what the White Hats wanted. And it's going to help speed up the demise of the government. That's an ending card. It's going to put an end to the false government. So it'll give the White Hats a way to step this process up. And they want everybody to do this everywhere.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. This is awesome because people can actually serve papers for treason for them all because they're all breaking the law.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All of them are breaking the law. Okay. So then the last thing is.
Hold on, Tamara. Hold on. There was more cards. Go ahead, Janine. Hold on.
I just wanted to say it looks like it speeds up what the military can do, the good military.
Okay.
So if the people are really that unhappy, which they obviously we need to do this all over the world, express this with whatever laws we have left. We have to step up and do everything we can to get the fraudulent governments out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then we're looking at the lifting of the mandates re-travel within Australia because us in Victoria cannot to New South Wales or Queensland. They cannot come back to us like the borders are basically closed. We're just, unless like people have been double jabbed, there's some sort of travel that they can do, but we're just wondering when the mandates will actually, if we're able to get any idea of a timeline around that. And as I say to people, Janine, tonight, like time is the hardest thing for us to get because spirit do not know time.
Mm-hmm.
So this is around the mandates. So they're just sitting there very precarious because everything's depending on what the people are going to do and how much they're going to rise up. So it's all this facade of fake government doing these mandates. I have a feeling it's just a facade that they even have the power to make the mandates. So if people would all figure that out, you know what I'm saying? But of course we know they don't. It's literally all illegal. So nobody needs to listen to any of those things. But of course they do, right? So the very next thing that happens is, so I feel like it's really soon. I'm thinking in the next month even, because this card is brilliant. Like it could even be, I'm getting something about 21. So 21st, 21 days from now.
Yep.
21, something about 21.
Right. Okay. So now that's as far as I am here with questions in regard to down here. However, it's like, did you guys see the photographs of the over 1 million people in Melbourne last Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, brilliant. I shared it everywhere.
Oh, did we have a show? It's like, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, is there any questions that have come in from people in Australia that that Janine can support them with? John, or is there's no questions coming in?
I haven't asked the audience to put up questions yet. We can do so now, guys. If you have any questions for TEYMARA or on the Australian situation, we're going to try to navigate as best we can here using the proper language. But please do put them in the live chat now in high caps, in capitalized letters. It's easier for me to pull up on the screen for both our participants to read here. Again, just quickly, I want to apologize for the sound. We're doing the best we can here, piping this through quite a few different softwares to make this work tonight. So there is still a bit of an echo and some glitching, and we know that TEYMARA is a little bit further away, but it's actually the best we've had so far with TEYMARA on the show. So keep your fingers crossed that we can continue the show tonight here. Okay.
Okay, so now over in America, are you guys aware of how many CEOs are stepping down?
Yes.
Do you have the latest list?
No, but there was a video Cliff High produced here today too. He named quite a few people, but go ahead and rhyme that list for you if you want now.
Okay. CEO of Disney, CEO of Microsoft, of Amazon, of Hulu, of IBM, of LinkedIn, of Uber Eats, Salesforce, eBay, MGM, Nestle, Volkswagen, MasterCard, Nissan, Victoria's Secret, Bed Bath and Body, T-Mobile, Harley Davidson, Velocity, WeWork, Juul, J-U-U-L, Tinder, OkCupid, and Hinge. That's the latest that I've got through.
And TEYMARA, where's that list coming from your perspective?
Okay, that's come in from, oh, I can't see it.
Okay, but for example, we were hearing the rumors about Disney CEO resigning, but that has not taken effect yet. Although we know that Jack Dorsey at Twitter has resigned or has stepped down yesterday or earlier this morning. So we know that some on that list have already activated their resignations, and we're still waiting for the other ones to drop. Now, I was curious to see if your list was suggesting the time frame for maybe all of these to drop.
What it's saying is step down, step down, step down, step down for each one of them. And it's got mainstream media, nothing to see here.
Right.
So, yeah, so it's not out there on the mainstream media at this particular point in time. Now, something that's just really, that's come into me today, just, a few minutes before we connected, is the manager of this is heartbreaking, okay? This is heartbreaking, guys. So the manager of a funeral home mortuary on the New South Wales coast posted on his Telegram on Wednesday. He said that last week he collected 15 bodies of dead babies who were stillborn to a vaxxed mother. Vaxxed mothers, and this week up until Wednesday, he said the manager of the other mortuary collected 7. And that was from okay, I can't say the name of the hospital, can I? No? Yes, no?
No.
No, okay. Anyway, so it's got the name of the hospital. They said that they normally have a couple of stillborn babies all year, and now there's been these dead babies. He's heartbroken and horrified, absolutely horrified. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we heard that here too in Vancouver. One day there was 13.
Mm-hmm.
That was all over the Twitter and
in New York also, I believe last week or the week before, we were hearing reports of that, unsubstantiated reports of supposedly healthcare workers who were putting out these information on BitChute and all that. So we're hearing some of the same here. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Janine, do you want to pull cards on that, Janine, very quickly to see? Is this part of the movie to enrage people, or are we in fact seeing here some
Is this the truth?
Is this the truth? Yeah. Or do you want to put a percentage on it to what's the truth and what might be exaggerated, if any? What would the card say?
okay, it's exaggerated.
Okay.
Yeah, it's happening, but it's exaggerated.
Yeah.
Surrender to it's happening, but not the percentage they're talking about here. We've got like it, and the news was put out by the White Hats. So they're placing stories and getting people to put, we know they're using the same techniques as the Black Hats. And we know that I think they're basically saying this could have been the case if we would have let everything go forward. I think they're showing us what was the intention. And of course, if there's some instances where it does create that, because we know there's booby-trapped batches. But I've been getting this consistently on all these stories. They're ramping it up, just like the other guys are ramping up the numbers and the new fake, newest thing going around. They're ramping that up. So these guys are throwing it right back at them. So we're getting this. And it is to enrage and shock.
Definitely right now, the fog of war is very, very thick. It's coming from both ends. I'm hearing reports today too. Yesterday, we heard that this doctor who had discovered, I'm going to be very careful with the wording here, what would be akin to razor blades in the injections, basically going through people's veins and creating havoc. That doctor, and I won't name his name, apparently was dead after this report. We're hearing today from other sources that he's in fact not dead. So again, the fog of woo is very, very thick here. We have to be careful on how we transmit some of this information. But for the context of having this conversation, they are still all data points that we need to look at. Okay, here's a question from the chat very quickly before I lose the buffers. Let me pick one or two, and then we'll come back to you, TEYMARA. Vicky Nelson is asking, is Dan Andrews possibly the reincarnation of the man with the mustache? We'll just say it that way.
Good one. That would only have to come. That would have to come from an Aussie. I'm telling you.
Is it possible, Janine? There's a DNA throughput for this person?
Nope.
Okay.
But he's definitely a reincarnation of another evil demonic. And he's absolutely in the bad club we talk about.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of really dirty secrets. So that's why he's been, by the way, rounded up, and he's being puppeted, or his image is puppeted. And that's not like our Mr. T, so that's Trudeau. He's not really there either. Like, they're not there. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what's going on.
Let's go a little bit crazier here. It's a woo show for sure. Kay Robbins is asking, is it true that the Vic premiere has already passed? Now, we understand that there might be some body doubles and things happening right now, people being locked up, but has he passed is the question here. Kay Robbins, thank you. And the next one, TEYMARA, is going to be what's happening in the Northern Territory. So I'll ask you, TEYMARA, for an update on that, and then we'll ask Janine to pull cards. Okay, so going back on the Vic Premier, is he still around?
Yeah, he's still around, but he's in tough shape. Or he's feeling like he's getting treated badly by the good guys. But he's still around.
Okay. Another rapid fire one here. You and I, Janine, were talking about earlier today. I can't switch screens and show you the slides here, but on Zero Hedge, they're reporting now that CNN has dropped indeterminately Mr. Cuomo. And so what's happening with Brother Cuomo? Is he being moved to the spa? What's really happening behind the scene here, Janine?
It's said that he's been suspended indefinitely.
Mm-hmm. Essentially, he's been caught, I guess, polling data, making sure front-running some of the women who were going to make allegations around his brother. He's been caught in this particular scheme here, and this is why ostensibly they're dropping him. Janine, go ahead.
This is in the past, so he already had one of those leg things, or ankle things on his ankle. So he was already being monitored, let's say. Okay, so now he's being physically moved somewhere, and he's not very happy about it. And the next thing that happens is he's facing a sentence that could take him off the earth plane. And I don't mean in a good way.
Okay. Mr. Cuomo has it coming. Okay. Next question. It was from Gemma Star. What's happening, TEYMARA, in the Northern Territory? Janine and I looked at this the other way last week. It's a little bit nebulous as to whether or not the originals were in fact being rounded up and forced by the military to take a substance. What are you hearing on the ground on that situation?
Okay. It's like Ricardo Bossi actually had an interviewed one of the Aboriginals from the Northern Territory. So he's getting onto people that are actually on the ground and are reporting in. So the information was that it's like yes to a percentage. However, our Aboriginals are really smart. And basically, it's like they've gone bush. They've gone bush. And God help any white man that thinks that they can actually track down the Aboriginals when the Aboriginals do not want to be found. Right. Wow. But yes, of course, what they've been doing to us, us that have been imported. I call us the imported people. Yep. Us that were imported from other countries, what they've been doing to us, that's also been their agenda with the Aboriginals. But I was absolutely disgusted at one point in time when I heard that they were offering them $1,000 for every one of them that had the jab. That's just disgusting. Yeah. Offering them money. Yeah. For them to have it.
So there was a few questions on that. I think we're answering it now too. When you said they've gone bush or they've disappeared off the map here, I heard the question in my mind: is it possible that some of these Aboriginal or the originals, the elders, have access to inner Earth openings? Janine, can we pull some cards to see if they actually have access to either portal technology or physical openings that bring them to different I'll say dimensions here on the planet?
Yeah. Or safe places underground. Safe places underground.
Okay, in the past, they absolutely did, more so than they do now. Then for some time, those safe places were being utilized by the dark forces. The bad guys took over some of them, not all of them, some of them, and they were stolen from the original people largely, and now they might have access to some of them, and a lot of people have forgot how to access them. So there's some people that still know, and so this is not as widespread. It's very specific. There's a few people that know how, and not everybody does. And for a long time, it looked like they didn't have access because it was being utilized by the bad guys.
Okay, very good. Next question is from Brianne Danielle. She's asking, TEYMARA, are the small people in Australia being saved from underground? Do we have any updates on that? What's happening on that front?
Well, the latest has been, and if guys go on to Gene Decode to do with Australia, so his latest report is that they're still getting kids out of Melbourne, and Pine Gap, that there's still action that's happening there as well in regard to the children. So they either found another tunnel under Melbourne, or more tunnels around. So they've been back in saving more kids.
Okay, and as a follow-up to that, the list of CEOs, and we understand also CFOs, financial officers, that are resigning here in short order, is that all connected to the dismantlement of this network of little people moving around the planet?
Oh, good God, yes.
I want to see what Janine. It seems like an obvious question, but is it a sign? Because a lot of people were asking Janine and I, when do we see a sign that things are actually happening and it's not just smoke and mirrors? Well, these CFOs and CEOs resigning could very well be, in fact, a big sign that this network is being dismantled systematically from the top now at the financial level of a lot of these big corporations. Janine, what do the cards have to say?
Yeah. It's saying that they're really close to all of this coming out, and they know it's all coming out. So the gig's up and the time's up. These guys are ready to shift everything, and they've made that really clear with their comms, and they've put it out there. So it's like the bad guys know the gig's up.
Yeah.
So they know that these guys are about to out their secrets. So what is about to? Could be any day, could be weeks, could be months. I'm hoping it's minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to do it, and these guys know it. So they're just preparing. And I think some of them have made arrangements already to step down X amount of time. I get it's a lot of it's comms. So when this one goes, it sends a signal. They're sending signals left, right, and center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we've also got Miss Maxwell.
Yeah, the trial, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Miss Maxwell's big show.
Let me ask you a question on the trial, Janine. I was just listening to Cliff High's update video here today, and he is of the opinion that this is going to be a mistrial without prejudice, meaning that she won't be able to be tried again because of severe misdeeds and misactions from the prosecution. And what leads him to make that opinion is that he believes, in his opinion, that the judge might have taken a bribe by the pretendency in Power Now, and that the prosecutor, of course, has ties, connections, family connections to Comey, and that they would try to throw this case so that it would be thrown out. Now, is that in the cards? What he was saying is that's likely to happen, but even if that happens, information will still find its way out from the white hats. But my first question is that their plan right now to throw this trial?
Oh, it's absolutely the plan. It's absolutely the plan. But I get that things could go differently than they think. I get things could go really differently. And I'm looking at the judge. And the judge has more integrity than you would think. This is a very unique person, and they're not 100% on the bad guy's side, which is good news.
He might be a double agent.
Yeah, Janine, I just got this. Okay, so when I get this with stuff like this, is that it's like there was one judge that was meant to preside over it, and they found something else, so they put a new judge in his place. Would you mind checking that, please?
Okay.
Okay. So why did they do that?
So there was one judge that they had that was supposed to preside over it, and I got that he was taken out, and another judge, a new judge, was put in his place.
Oh, you mean they swapped? They got a fake person pretending?
There was a judge that they found out that was like that was had some corruption or something, and they put another judge in to sit on the case that is this guy now.
Well, let's ask the question, Janine. Was there a switcheroo of who was presiding this this trial? Has that in fact taken effect?
Thank you, Mr. Aries.
Love it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is, I'm not convinced that that person's totally bad. I think they might have, I don't think they're like a gray hat.
Yeah.
They're not a white or a black hat. Like, I'm not getting them on either side per se.
Okay, so Cliff was saying too, again in the video today, I can't bring it up, but go check it out on BitChute. It's the last one for the day. It's called Trench Woo. So he's talking about reporting from the trenches, the war reporting. What he was saying is that the white hats had, in fact, achieved a win here by now pushing this trial forward at this time. So a lot of effort was being put to have this trial right now, even though the bad actors think that it was to their avail to push this back, and eventually have it so that they can hide all of the things. It's actually working to their disadvantage right now, to the deep state. So that's why they're doing all of these other moves now, realizing maybe that they're not in the position they wanted to be. So quite fascinating. But what also came out in some of the WebBot data 2 months ago was that November, December, we would see this huge outpouring of information with respect to this network of small people around the planet, and would be very devastating. So maybe the question that imposes here, are we going to hear that from the trial? Because now the judge has said that these proceedings are too extravagant to be made public. So you already can tell they're trying to clamp down. So is it going to come there, or is it going to be leaked out maybe by other sources? Let's ask the cards. Where is the information going to come from? And I'll just add this one piece, Janine, before you pull the cards. For the human psyche, we would hope that it comes from the trial. It will be easier in a more legal stand way for most brains to understand, to comprehend, and go on board with the information. But if that cannot be achieved, it will be forced another way. And of course, we know that's going to cause damage and cognitive dissonance to people. But either way, the information has to come out. So what does the card say? What do the cards say as to how the information is going to come out? Trial or afterwards?
I feel like some things will come out in the trial, but not nearly as much as you'd like. And the biggest amount's going to come out on the back channels. And I also get that the good guys are ready with all kinds of huge amounts of info they're going to be putting out all through the trial. I also get there's a bit of a tricky situation with somebody who's pretends to be on the bad side in the trial, but actually works on the good side. They've made a deal. So that's how some of it will get out. And some of it, like, it's not going to go exactly how it's not a dreary situation. I don't think it's perfect, but they're going to have some wins. Both sides are going to have some wins. Okay.
Very good. Let's move to this next question for you, Tamara. On the screen, Darren is asking, what's the update on the camps, just call it luxury camps that are being built there? Jenny and I looked at one video last week during our live stream on Wednesday, I believe it was. Have you heard reports of these camps, the double fences? What's going on there? Are we seeing movement, people being pushed into them actually, or is this still some type of hoopla in the media to get everybody riled up? What are you seeing on the ground?
Okay, what I feel, what I get, it's like it's hoopla to get people sort of like really sort of like riled up. Now, is he talking about Christmas Island?
No, I believe these were the ones we showed last week. Again, I can't switch screens here to show it, but this was close to an airport, just across the highway from an airport. I believe it was Melbourne we were showing, but I forget now. So they were talking about, it wasn't a different island. It was on Australian ground.
Boy, don't get that. Now this was something that came up the other day, in regard to, yes, and I don't want to put that energy out there. No. Let's just say a number of people being put away, and it's and I just went and I just checked into that, and I got like, no, I didn't see that happening. So Janine, what did you get with that?
I get the same thing. We got a smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, it's like let's get them into fear. Like, and I've said this like over and over again. What people have to understand is the cabal love fear. They love it. They love anger. They love all of these negative emotions. And the way I describe it to people is, okay, if you've got a heroin addict, they need that heroin in order to function, in order to be okay. The cabal need us to be in states of negative emotion in order to feed them. So the more that you keep yourself clear of the negative emotions, the more you stop reading and looking at things that are negative and keep your energy up, you are starving them of their energy. This is so important, important. So so that's up in Brisbane. This is really interesting as well, because that's really close to the Northern Territory, isn't it? Yeah.
Brisbane, yeah.
Yeah, but it's about keeping. It's like the more in the positive energy you can be, the more the cabal are going to hate you, because you're not feeding them their energy. And this is for everybody, like all over the world. And this is why these demonstrations had to be peaceful. It had to be peaceful, and it had to be positive. And everybody, it was like a love fest. So this gathering of people all over the planet, the more that you connect in together, the more that you have that brotherhood of man, this love energy, and I'm here to help you and support you, the more the cabal are going to hate it, and the more you're starving them of their energy. And they're going to go crazy. Mm-hmm. They'll go crazy. Yeah, they're going to go crazy. Yeah?
Yeah.
I guess the bad guys might end up in them.
Yeah, we've been getting that.
Well, we know. It's like, and I felt like, the same thing. It's like, who's going to end up in those camps? It's like the people that are going to be rounded up.
Mm-hmm.
All of those that have been doing this revolting behavior to our children, and also to all of us during this period of time. But I'm also saying to people, listen, all of you, you've got to start. It's like, stop being victims. You've got to start taking responsibility, and you've got to start looking at it and going, right, what can I do about this as a person? And people will say to me, oh, like, it's just me. Like, what can I do? You can do a lot. John Denver wrote a song for Buckminster Fuller many, many years ago, and the song is titled What One Man Can Do. And it's like, it's the most amazing, amazing song, yeah? And John said to me at that time, Bucky said to me that one person can make a huge difference. All you need is to have the confidence and the self-esteem and the fire in your belly to go out there and make a difference and take action. Yeah. It's no good sitting back on your behind, right? Aussies, all of you out there that are listening, yeah? Like, get up off your butts and get in on the Saturday. What did we have? We had over 1 million. We went from 200 in the beginning here in Melbourne, 200 to over 1 million. I mean, hello, Comet. What's that telling you? What is that telling you? And I was reading that once it gets to 1 million people, that's when the politicians start to shake in their boots.
Yeah.
Because they know that it's like, this is gaining the momentum.
Is it possible?
Go on.
Okay. The question on the screen kind of relates to that here. Maybe they are shaking in their boots, and maybe perhaps this is why they're implementing now the threat of further lockdowns in New South Wales because of this new moronic version that is just now being pimped out. Can we ask the cards to see if that's part of the strategy here from those people who are perhaps shaking in their boots at seeing that million person march here? What's going on with that one? Athenia is asking, will we see lockdowns because of this?
No, I think it'll fizzle out before that. There's justice coming, and there's a strong move on the good guys' side this month, like December. And I'm really I got that in my December look too. This is strength. Finally, we get a strong move towards justice. Finally, the good guys get to see a little justice, because literally we haven't seen that. Not really on a big scale for a really, like, it's been months and months. It's been since last November.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, since anybody saw any kind of real sign. So I feel like that's going to stop that thing.
Okay.
I don't think it gets any traction.
Janine Claudette Leblanc is asking, when Australia wins, will Canada win next? Like, are we tied to Australia, Canada, our fate, or are we going to move after we see the move in the United States? Again, here looking at some of the WebBot data, Cliff thinks that something is going to happen in the United States and then suddenly expand outwards, north, east, south, west, and really change this into high gear. So what do you think is the timing for Canada? Are we attached to Australia, or maybe more here to the United States?
I feel like the Australian, I get it as a rebirth, like breakthrough and rebirth, is going to expand all over the world. Like, I feel like once they go, a big ripple effect, but maybe not directly Canada next.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking most everybody goes all close to the same time, because things just, a big kaboom's coming, you guys. We got this card in the daily routines in my December look. And then, but there was a really good card across from it. So it's not the bad guy kaboom. This is a good guy kaboom. So I feel like things might shift here and there first. And I was thinking Australia, also South Africa, maybe France. And then I feel like just everybody goes, because it's like a dam breaks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was still higher up in the chat. I wanted to bring this comment up by Jerome Decant. He was saying that Cliff said that when the Disney CFO, I believe it was CFO he was talking about, goes, that was a marker or a type of domino that lets everybody know that we're really down this path here in terms of this breakdown of this network. So thank you, Jerome, for adding that to the conversation. Let's ask this one here too, Janine. You've talked about this a couple. Oh, go ahead, Janine. You had a.
Didn't the so a long time ago, when I was doing Meghan and Harry readings, so about 1.5 years ago, the CEO of Disney did step down. So they got a new one. Are you talking about the new one? Because they already had a Disney step down. And when Tamara read her list off, that's where they were getting that info, I guess. He already stepped down.
And again, to be clear, I believe what Cliff was saying earlier today, and I don't have it in front of me now, he was talking about the CFOs, and he made a point to say it's the financial officers. All of this is tied to the money, the networking. So those are the guys that are going to basically be on the front line here of the firing squad. It's the money people. Yeah. It could also be the CEO in the case of Disney. I'm not sure, but I believe he said the word CFO. Okay. We're talking about C-level executives, but it was having to do with the money. The money portion was a big thing there.
Because they're going to be outed for supporting these.
Paying for it, yes.
Yeah, they're paying
moving the money, making it possible. Yeah, exactly. Linda Jordan is asking you, will there be a remedy available for those who perhaps took the substance and who have been damaged by the substance? Now, you and I have pulled cards on this before, Janine. We always thought there was something already maybe in the works. Let's get an update for Linda Jordan.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
There's a few different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few different things, and it's going to really be helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. And you and I had that before, Janine, because I remember when I said to you, I said, in the very beginning when they were talking about the jab, what I got was that Trump and his team will have an antidote. Yeah, and I just kept on saying to people, Trump and his team are going to have an antidote. There's an antidote. And then I checked in with you, and then you did the cards and you said yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. So this card here says there's already something out there. And this card says, when we're ready, we'll receive it. When it's time, we'll receive it. Well, you know, I know that they got to do this. They got to play this out. This is wartime.
Yeah.
And a lot of people get grumpy because they're like, why doesn't they? I think they've done so much in the back just to even step back the damage. So people need to remember that. I'm not making excuses for them, but they can't roll it out because nobody would learn anything if they just rolled it out. We would just go right back to sleeping. We can't do that. That can never happen again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And I got for the whole of November because we had Mars Scorpio, and I just said to people, I said, there's going to be a lot of internal overthrows that we will not see because it was the Scorpio. So that's deep and that's hidden. One thing I did get, Janine, and it's like, and your followers, you guys, it's like I've started reading for them. They are the most beautiful people. They are so understanding. They're amazing, absolutely amazing people to read for. But with one of the girls, she was talking about the EBS, and I just all of a sudden I got boom. No, there's not going to be an EBS. What I saw something running on a screen, and on the bottom of it, it had Trump TV. And I went, okay, upstairs, what's this? What are you showing me? And they were showing me like a list of all of these different trials. And this is at this time, and this is at this time, and this is at this time. And people could actually tune in and view it if they wanted to. But it wasn't going to be all of these trials like blasted out all over the world, and people had to sit and just watch just one channel of all of this running out. So Janine, I'd love for you to have a look at your cards in regard to that, because I got that it's like they don't want to freak people out all over the world. It's like it's here for you to view if you want to view this.
It's something like that, but not 100% either. I don't think it's exactly like where we're forced to watch this, whether we like it or not. I don't think that either. But it feels like there's going to be a technology from off-worlders that's going to somehow make it accessible. So it might not be in a traditional way, like maybe it'll be in a different way. Somehow it might not be on the kind of screens we're used to, because it's an advanced technology that's going to bring the information, it looks like. Isn't that weird? Right. And it looks like it will be available if you want to watch it.
If you want to watch it, that's what I got. And then with another girl I was reading for, and and I was talking about people that I know that I've been counseling, members of their families that have actually passed over from having the jab. And I got a visual, and there were a whole lot of people with and again, guys, it's like, this is just a visual from spirit that I got, that had needles in their arms, and they were all lined up, and they were saying to me, we are working from over here to stop this from happening. So spiritually, those that have passed over, as a result of that thing, are working spiritually to stop this continuing down here on the planet. So I'm just wondering, Janine, what the cards say about that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm emotional.
And then this is interesting. They're also really helping speed things up energetically. Yeah, so I feel like timelines are changing. Some people are getting way in the distance. I feel like if we stay focused on intention and with the help of off-worlders, I think this could all go down faster, not slower. But I think if everybody just stopped visualizing and got really bummed out and talked about how we're doomed and all of that kind of stuff that I don't like hearing. Okay, that it's not because I don't like it, because I know it's detrimental and it keeps you stuck. So I usually tell people when they write me stuff like that or put comments that I catch it, I'll say, you know what, is that what you'd like to, would you like to manifest that? Because writing it is very powerful. And then speaking it, writing it, and thinking it all at the same time, you can make stuff happen. People wonder why they're stuck in their life. It's because they repeatedly whine about everything and talk about how lousy their life is and nothing's ever going to change and you're just hopium and all that. It's like, okay, well, I've changed my whole life so many times I can't even tell you by just talking about it till it became true. That's what I do my whole life.
Yeah, join the club 99. Now also when I'm the astrology and the energy that I got for November.
Hold on, Tamara. When you said join the club 99, are you making reference to the old Maxwell Smart sitcom? Is that what you were doing? I love it. Agent 99. She called you Agent 99. I love it.
Yeah, I just wrote these things out, because I use it in my seminars all the time, and with all of that.
Missed it by that much.
So with November, the energy that I got was around God. It was like a God vibration. So when it said that Ms. Maxwell's time was going to be in November, I went, yes, this is fabulous. Now I got for the December, which I've got to record later tonight. It's like it's going to be the month of karma. So it's like it's the month of retribution. So gorgeous sister from another life, would you mind having a look at that one, please?
Oh, okay. Well, this is on the bottom, and that is karma. This card, okay, the Wheel of Fortune is the karmic energy that you're up and then you're down and then you're up and then like goes around, comes around. That's karma. Okay, and like I love it, and I've been getting this card nonstop. This in the last 2 weeks, it's come up in almost every reading, and it feels like it's the energy of December for sure. It's like who was up will be down, and who was down will be up, and that's good news because we've been down. Okay, we've been kicked in the butt down, and it's felt like we've been losing, and that's just not the case. And all the winnings going on the sly, and so a lot of people aren't buying it anymore. But I got a feeling that's all going to change. So that does feel like karma. So yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. Cool. And another thing I got was like, I kept on getting with people and Spirit just kept on saying to me, just hold your hands up. Yeah, you just hold your hands up. I'm going, okay, all right. So this was in the first one that I got. And then I keep on getting it for people as I'm reading for them. And I went, here we go again, another one. And I said, right, I'm getting hold your hands up. So I said, the way that I'm getting this through, the message that I'm getting through is, it's like we'll have to just stand back, hold your hands up, because something's going to happen. Our foundations are going to be shaken big time. And whatever we have erected in our lives that are not on solid foundations are all going to
Crumble.
drop down. It's like it's all going to be destroyed. But so we've got to let go and let God. This is God's time, guys. It's God's time. So you have to understand that things are going to have to be destroyed in order for the new to be built.
Yeah.
Some people were asking, Tamara, a little bit higher in the chat about the supply chain and some of this destruction we're just talking about now. Inevitably, it will cause disruption in our food supply. And people were asking, is it still a good idea to maybe be a little bit more prepared than usual, to have maybe a little bit bigger reserves to kind of navigate through some of these systems that are tied into all of these networks that we don't know about, and that they might go down temporarily as well and cause even more issues that we have now in our supply chain.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite sayings is trust in God to tie up your donkey. So you know, I mean, God is there, and God is there to support and do. But hey, you've got to pull your weight. You know, you've got to get in and you've got to do your bit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's like, you know, like I've got in my garage, I've got food in there, I've got, you know, like packed supplies and whatever. And then I keep on using it. So then I've got to go and I've got to stock it back up again.
So trust in God and tie your donkey. Is that what you said?
Yeah, trust in God, but tie up your donkey.
All right.
So it's like God is there to support and help us. However, God helps those who helps themselves.
Awesome. Nancy says,
you just can't hand it out to other people. And this is where I'm doing this big thing about people taking responsibility. Like, take responsibility for yourself and your life. Don't look for somebody to rescue you. Don't look to me to give you the answers. Don't look to Janine to give you the answers. We're here to support. Yeah, and with you, Jean-Claude, by giving the platform to people, we are all out there, and yeah, we're a group of souls that decided to do this, but we all know that. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Okay, it's like, so we're all out there doing what it is that we can do in order to support you guys, to empower yourselves, for you to take responsibility. And if we all do this, we're going to get out the other side. We're going to be fine. But if you're expecting people to rescue you, forget about it. If you're doing the victim, the poor me, all of that, it's like, forget about it, because it's like if you go into victim, it's like you don't see a way out by you looking at it and going, okay, so how have I manifested this? What can I do in order to have this be different? And that's when my saying that I teach people, which is cancel. So whenever anybody communicates with me and it's negative, I go cancel. You know, cancel, like thanks for sharing, cancel, and I replace it with a positive. You know, if I'm hearing anything on the news or when I'm out, I'm going cancel. And I replace it with a positive. So the more that we take responsibility and the more that we are in control of our own thoughts and in control in regard to what it is that we take on, it's like the better our journey is going to be.
I love it. Okay. We're already an hour or 5 minutes into it. Is there anything else on your list, Tamara, that you wanted to make sure we share with the audience here before we go? And we could also take a few more questions depending on what your energy levels are, both you and Janine. Let me know.
Okay, so it's like just on Twitter are actually gone into damage control because they're blocking any pictures, any posts that are containing pictures. They're blocking them, they're stopping them from going up. So they're going into damage control because we know, like on Twitter, all the pictures that were being shown behind the scenes. So so that's an interesting one.
Wow. I saw a news article this morning saying that the new CEO of Twitter was implementing this new algorithm to basically cancel and delete what they perceive to be mean memes. Okay. but what you're saying now is they're censoring at the graphic level. Are you talking just Australia or across the board? I know it's a little bit touchy here, so choose your words.
Across the board.
Hmm.
So Twitter is from where? It's from America. So we've got it, like in, yeah. So they're just, it said that they're going into damage control and they're blocking any posts that are containing pictures. So they're going, oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. So Twitter's gone into damage control. Oh, and one thing, Janine. One. How many people at the moment, what percentage are awake?
Oh, we had a few people ask that. Okay.
Okay.
They're going, please ask Janine.
Generally speaking, in Australia or the whole planet, Tamara?
No, the whole planet.
Okay.
The whole planet, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with half. Half the humans. And largely, so these are really positive. It's been largely lately that a large push came for the good.
Yeah.
So a huge amount got on board recently to make it up to that.
Yes.
That's in the world. So that's almost miraculous to me, but wow.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely awesome. Okay, well, I think that's it from me at my end, unless there's anything.
Okay, I'm getting another report from the chat here. Siobhan is saying, JC, my friend just told me they can't share anybody's pics on Twitter now, ? Okay. I almost want to test that while we're live. I can't show you what I'm doing, but let me see if I can have
You know what? That feels like they're going to absolutely commit, the S word doing that. Twitter will not exist if they clamp down like that. That's absurd. So they're going to do a swan dive here if they do that. Which would be perfectly fine with me, by the way, just to show everybody how foolish they are.
Well, I just tweeted a picture of the Vatican. Now, anybody's pic, so it's not a person's picture. So it was architecture that I just posted, and that worked. So I'm curious if this is across the board, they're starting to implement this, or if they're really looking for specific persons that they don't want us to talk about.
Like the way that it was explained to me, it's because of the pictures that were sort of up on there that we know are connected to, like, the children.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. So what they're doing, they're going into damage control, and they are no longer allowing pictures of people.
Is that perhaps, let's ask Janine, is that perhaps what that big 4-hour or 8-hour downtime we saw a couple of weeks ago with Facebook, Instagram, were they retweaking their algorithms to get in front, maybe to put in this program so that they can, in a live fashion, not print any of these pictures? Was that part of that takedown there a couple of weeks ago?
No. The takedown was on the outside. So somebody took it down from the outside. So independent source took them down. So that doesn't sound like that sounds like it was an attack of some kind. That was from the outside. So I don't think they planned that.
Okay.
Okay, so would you mind having a look at that, Janine, in regard to the blocking of the pictures of human beings because of those that used to go up on there to do with the children?
Oh, now I see what you're saying. Okay. I thought that Twitter was in damage control, preventing anybody from researching the subject. What you're saying is...
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's hard to ask here on a live show. I see where you're going with this. All right. Tread carefully, Janine.
Okay. So she's saying They're not allowing pictures referring to small humans.
No, all humans like pictures to do with human beings. So the damage, they're going into damage control. So they're actually blocking any uploads of.
So it could be about anybody.
That's it. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it does look like that's a policy they want to put, but it's in various, not all over the world though. So it's in select places in the world. So it's not all over the world. And that could have something to do with various different laws in different places. Okay, because Twitter's all over the world, obviously, but it's going to be too stressful and they won't be able to hold it up. It'll cause a lot of stress to the company, and maybe it's gonna cost them money. They're not gonna do it for very long. That's a really dumb idea that this new guy put. Remember when we looked at the new guy, Jean-Claude, he was sort of naive, and they're throwing him in there in a big mess, and he's gonna screw things up royally. That's one of the ways he's gonna do it. And then he finally figures out what a mess they're in.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be fascinating times regardless. Wow. And I said that in the show with you. I wouldn't want to be him trying to navigate this now. Oh my God. Okay. Wow. I think that's it. Janine, maybe we should end with you. Do you want to pull cards and ask universe what it wants to tell the audience here in relation to the whole show tonight and maybe moving forward here? Let's say in the next week, because I think things are going to accelerate really rapidly. We don't need to go a month or 2 months out here.
Yeah.
Okay. And before that, can I ask Tamara a question?
Of course.
Tamara, what do you think of Ricardo Boise?
Do you know what? It's like, I think he's amazing because he's just out there and he's just saying it as it is. It's like I'm doing a lot of support in regard to him, and it was really interesting because one of the girls said to me, it's like that the party hasn't been registered here in Australia. I said, of course not, because it's like that's the old system. So it's about him working. And I said to someone the other day, I said, listen, this guy would have to be working in with the white hats, because the things that he is saying and the things that he is implicating himself in, it's like if he wasn't with the white hats, he would have been arrested and locked away by now.
Yeah,
so
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and I'm just saying to people, just hang on for the ride, because this man is in for the long haul. This man is going to stand his ground. He's going to speak the truth. And if you can't handle it, it's like then don't tune in. Don't tune into him if you can't handle it. That he's there, and he's there for the long haul, and he's there for all Australians, and he's even here for the world. He's really saying to people all over the world, like, look at these people, look at what's been going on. And if this is the case here in Australia, your country is no different.
Yeah, it's true. So for the next,
I'm a part of the Australia One group here in Victoria, here in Melbourne.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
I agree. I love that guy. So this is looking pretty drastic, but so the coming week, I don't know, man, that big flip thing could happen this week. This is crazy. So it's saying,
bring the cards closer to the screen. I know I can't bring you up there. Okay, there you go.
We're at the bitter end, you guys. We're like, wow, we got 2 ending cards in the tower. Whoops, the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Boom. Okay, and like Tamara was saying, she was saying old systems that aren't built on a good foundation. That's exactly the tower. The tower is not built on a good foundation, so it's coming down, and it needs to come down to rebuild. That's exactly so. Surrender. That card means surrender. We're at the very end. We can't, like, it's breaking point. It's breaking point. And in the past, there's been this illusion of life. So our whole life's been an illusion. We didn't even know it. We were in the matrix. We didn't even know it. But the outcome, so the good news is the outcome is refreshing on the other side of it, right? So a more holistic life where we can be more creative, but we're going to have to start from scratch on most things. All the systems are going to have to be from scratch. Like we're going to have to redo everything, how we educate, how we think of spirituality, because it's all been infiltrated and twisted.
And poisoned.
And we're all going to have adult conversations really quick so we can talk about the real things happening so that we can bring real solutions. Yeah, fascinating times. Well, I think
it's like no victim mentality. Guys, if you're running victim, it's like forget about it. Forget about it. And it's about supporting. It's not about going in and rescuing people. It's about supporting them. Like teaching them how to fish, not supplying them with fish.
Yeah. Wow. Tough love it is, everyone. Wow. I love it. Wow. Taymara, thank you so much. Taymara, do you still do any bookings? Are you completely booked? Do we want to mention your website tonight so people can go and have a reading with you?
Okay,
what's your situation like?
Okay, so what's happening is people are now, they're sending through their submissions, and we've got all of the submissions in on the dates that we receive them. And when I open it up for February appointments, then it's in order when they've come through. Yeah, but it's like, but all of your, like I said, all of your people are just absolutely like amazing. They're beautiful. They're beautiful, beautiful people, beautiful people. And just one thing, if they haven't received information from us, it's like they've got to look in their spam or their junk, because a lot of the time the documents that we send over go into spam or go into junk.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my
all of them up to now, everybody is booked in. All of your people, they're all booked in.
Okay.
They're all booked in. Yeah.
And my question is, from now on, do you want us to have sent more people to your website for more bookings, or are you locked in for now for a little bit of time still?
No, what they're doing is that they're just sending through onto the website on submissions, and they're just sending over and just going, please put me in for a reading. Please let me know when the reading, and then we're actually printing them off and then already scheduling them in for February, and then we're starting on March.
All right, guys. So you heard her. If you want to have a booking, go to TEYMARA.com. It's on the screen now, and I'll make sure it's pinned in the comments below on my video and on Janine's video also after the live chat. Well, thank you so much, Taymara, for being here again. What a lovely...
I can't wait to get on an aeroplane and come to Canada. I want to come and see you.
We're going to have a big party. I know.
I want to meet the both of you.
Me too. I'm looking forward to that. So thank you so much, Taymara, for being here. We love your energy. And it was so fun to be able to talk to you in live without the lag time tonight. So big thank you.
Thank you, Jean-Claude, that you worked that one out.
So far, so good. Thank you so much, Janine, also for being here. And folks, please do remember to like, share, and subscribe on Tarot by Janine, and also here on Sending Ravens on YouTube. And please join us tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern for our weekly Wednesday live stream with Tarot readings by Janine. Oh my God, it's late. It's my 4th show today. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir.